Because the fear grows ever darker. Take back all control. You become the monster. In my dreams, life is just a memory. In my fears, you become the enemy. In my shadows, your screams are
goodness. Like MJF says, man, I got the pores in the chat complaining that their Salvation Army PCs are buffering. Maybe if your connection wasn't hooked up to a rat's asshole, like it usually is when I play against the foreigners in Call of Duty, maybe that won't be a problem. Refresh the stream. Your boy is tired, bro. I'm wrestle fatigued. But I tell you what, man, WWE, they saved the best for last. And they very well may have put on. Now this may upset the sickos, man. Oh man, they're gonna cry themselves to sleep tonight. I don't believe JD said that. They may have put on the best show of the weekend. Oh my God, man, JD is such an evil human being, man. How could he? He betrayed AEW. Listen, man, I'm going to the venue. Fuck AEW and fuck the sickos. Tonight we celebrate the women and the best division in the entire fucking wrestling world. Why? Because I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your WWE Evolution 2025 post show. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Sunday evenings, wherever you may be, man. Your boy's tired. I want to get that right out into the open, man. I am fatigued. I am tired. I am operating on maybe 4 hours of sleep plus a 1 hour nap today. That was not nearly enough. I am exhausted. I did a whole day of wrestling yesterday because Tony Khan doesn't know what in moderation is. I'd love to see what he does at the bar and how many drinks he actually does have before he starts to fucking vomit. 7 hours of All In, 4.5 hours of a live stream. I had a day yesterday, bro. Then after that, I watched Saturday night's main event. And then I did a 1 hour review on Saturday night's main event today, which is up on the channel right now if you want my thoughts on Seth Rollins and Bill Goldberg and the situations that came out of Saturday night's main event last night. And now we're here. Man. We saved the best for last. We saved what very well could be the best show of the weekend. I'm not here to compare. I'm not here to say, oh, this show was better. WWE needed... They needed something. They needed a shot in the arm. A lot of what has happened this year in the world of pro wrestling, honestly, from both WWE and AEW, has been dog shit. There's nothing compelling. There's no compelling characters. There's nothing memorable this year. And there's really nothing to get excited about. Coming off of last year, where WWE was as hot as they ever have been, AEW was as cold as they have ever been. We came into 2025 with a lot of hope and a lot of excitement coming from where we were coming from last year's major year. We haven't gotten any of that into the Rumble, into WrestleMania, into AEW's beginning of the year, and where we got into All In, the road to get to All In. A lot of it has been downright miserable. That continued on Saturday with WWE. And you could look at it however you want. WWE tried to counter-program and basically drowned out AEW this weekend with 3 different shows. Great American Bash, which went head-to-head with All In. Then we got Saturday night's main event, where they basically threw you a Bill Goldberg retirement. Last minute, no real build, no substance, just threw him out there in prime time to retire. And then today, we got Evolution, all taking place in the city of Atlanta, which I'm assuming Atlanta is also fatigued as well. They got a lot of pro wrestling tonight. They needed something coming out of last night's show because Bill Goldberg's retirement was a dud. Match was all right. It was as good as they could possibly get. But then they ended up cutting off his retirement speech, or his little retirement thank you at the end of the show. And NBC, mixed with WWE's poor time management, fucked that up to embarrassing levels. And then we had the Seth Rollins injury last night, which that's going to be the biggest blow that the company has felt all year. He was a part of so many different angles and so many different stories that if his injury is legit and serious, where it's going to be he's off TV for about 6, 7, 8 months, WWE is going to have to rewrite the script, and SummerSlam is not going to be the same as we thought it was going to be. That is a major, major blow. And it's going to push WWE's creative limits to heights that we have never seen. Honestly, they have their backs against the wall just based off that one injury, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. And it's just the culmination of WWE this year. You could also look at it in a spiritual way, which I also do. This is karma coming back to WWE. I very much believe that. Karma coming back to WWE for not minding their own business. Stop with the counter-programming bullshit. Stop with the fucking blatant counter-programming where you just do nothing but embarrass yourself. Put on shows without anybody else in mind and do your own thing. You want to fucking put so much effort into counter-programming AEW, and then you get what happened on Saturday night. I feel like it's the gods basically saying, slow the fuck down. I genuinely believe that. After this weekend, they needed something. In come the ladies of WWE. WWE has been touted as the best women's division in the entire world. With the sheer number of women on that roster, the talent from top to bottom, it is very difficult to argue that statement. WWE's women's wrestling has come a very long way, man, from the days of Johnny Laurinaitis. People power! May he rot in hell. Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. None of the old administration gave a shit about women's professional wrestling. You could even say that this current administration doesn't give a shit about women's professional wrestling. They really haven't done much to enhance anything in the Paul Levesque era. We still get short matches. We got fucking Intercontinental titles and United States titles and tag team titles that basically the fucking bottle cap to my beer last night that I had during All In is worth more than all three titles combined. It's still not where it needs to be. And a lot more focus needs to go into making a lot of the division better than it is now. But it can't get any worse than what we came from in the Vince McMahon era. They didn't appreciate women's wrestling at all. They never saw it as a draw. They never really found any interest in it because it was just something to entertain the men, which is it's a shitty way to look at it because wrestling is a male-dominated sport, and they just did it because they had to where Triple H finds it today. And some of the most talented performers in the company, male or female, come from the women's division. The women tonight were asked to do a simple thing, and that was go out there and try and right the fucking bad weekend. They did that, and they delivered above and beyond more than anybody could have ever anticipated or ever wanted from this division. They went out there and had a point to prove. They went out there, and as soon as the match that opened the show, which was the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, Becky, Bayley, and Lyra, as soon as that bell rung, you got a sense of these ladies are going to fuck shit up tonight. They went out there as hungry as ever. They went out there as determined as ever. And from the first match all the way up until the main event, they delivered on every single thing that was advertised tonight. WWE Evolution, the sequel, because this is the first show that they've done since 2018's version. This show tonight blew the first version completely out of the water. Completely. Not even a single fucking comparison can be made about how much better this show was compared to the first one. The first one was done, and the first one was given to the WWE audience after years of wanting it for one reason and one reason only. And that's because WWE had just begun a partnership with the Saudi Arabian government, and the women were not able to wrestle in Saudi Arabia during that time period in the beginning of that relationship. So they gave them an Evolution show on Long Island at Nassau Coliseum as a make good, as a thank you, and as a buffer to say, you might not be able to wrestle over there, but we'll give you this show over here, and it'll be 3 hours all to yourselves. Ronda Rousey also aided in getting that show off the ground as well, because Ronda Rousey was the biggest star to walk into WWE in that women's division ever. As an outsider, ever. Those are the only reasons why that show happened. And it still underperformed. It was a disappointing show. I never went back and watched it up until last Thursday, where I watched it and I didn't even get halfway through. That's how bad I thought the show was. Tonight's show blew that one out of the water. I also want to make a point here in regards to what WWE did as far as the show itself tonight. The look, the feel, the flow, the match order, and everything that came off that show in Atlanta. Evolution showed you that WWE has been operating, doing the wrong thing since Triple H has twisted and molded the pay-per-view or PLE model. Triple H has given us maximum 5 matches during his PLE era. Whether you get a Royal Rumble with 4 matches, a Elimination Chamber with 4 matches, a Backlash with 5 matches, and everything in between. WWE does not exceed 5 matches. On a rare occasion, WWE will give you a 6th match. Now, when Triple H gives you a 4-match PLE, there's a lot that goes into it. The Royal Rumble, for example, I mean, that's 2 Royal Rumble matches that take up a good 2.5 hours of the show. So sure, that's why you're buying into that show. The Elimination Chamber, same thing. Then you got a 2-night WrestleMania where you get 6 or 7 matches, and even that doesn't flow the way that it does. Backlash was 5 matches. Saudi Arabia with Night of Champions, 6 matches. WWE has been operating under the less is more motto. Quality over quantity. The thing is, the quality that WWE's putting out this year has not been quality. It's been dog shit. Creative sucks. The shows don't feel important. The shows feel very rushed and haphazardly put together. There's no importance on anything that they're doing right now. And now they're going through a major injury with Seth Rollins. That could realistically change the entire landscape of what their television shows look like going into next year's WrestleMania. Triple H needs to wake up. Triple H needs to open his fucking eyes. And Triple H needs to do what I am about to tell you right now. Evolution was a 7-match card. Did it feel too long to you? The answer is no. Did it feel like it overstayed its welcome? The answer is no. WWE could do 7 matches. They just refused to. Tonight's show was an eye-opening show that WWE needs to take and make everything else after this feel like this show tonight. 7 matches, it's absolutely doable, and it's capable of going off the way that it needs to. 7 matches. And a lot of what happened tonight, there wasn't a lot coming into this show, but there's certainly going to be a lot coming out of it. 7 matches, the show flowed from top to bottom. The match order was perfect from top to bottom. They had a great open and a great close, and everything in between, it hit just the same, the way that it needed to. We weren't bombarded with fucking dozens upon dozens upon dozens of nauseating advertisements. We went from one match to a vignette and a video package to set us up for the next match. Rinse and repeat over and over again. There wasn't fucking absolutely mind-numbingly unimportant, not needed advertisements and commercials that lasted 15 fucking minutes between matches. Because you want to throw 5 matches out there and you need to fill 3.5 fucking hours of PLE time on Peacock. This is what you should do going on into every single show that is remaining this year. SummerSlam, it should have 6, 7 matches easy on each night. Clash in Paris, 7 matches easy in Paris. Perth, when they do Crown Jewel, 7 matches easy. Why are we shortening the pay-per-views via the match quality? And why are we adding all this other unneeded garbage that takes away from the show? That's what I want to know. When did we start moving away from making the premium live events not premium anymore? I understand that we're all paying a $4.99 subscription fee or a $9.99 or $11.99, whatever it is, to subscribe to Peacock. We're not paying what AEW is charging on basic pay-per-view and Amazon. We're not paying $50 per pop. But that doesn't mean you can skimp on the fucking quality. That's what this show gave you tonight. I honestly felt like I was watching, and I felt like I was back in the fucking time machine. I felt like I was watching an NXT Black and Gold takeover. All we were missing was Morrow's voice. It was that type of style. It was that type of production. Every single woman who was on that show tonight should sleep so good tonight, knowing that not only are they part of the greatest women's division on the face of the fucking planet in this industry, but they put on one of the best shows, if not the best show, that WWE's put on all year. I don't know if All In woke them up. I don't know if all their bad karma this weekend woke them up. But this show was absolutely a fucking pleasure to sit through 3.5 hours, and everything from the top of the card all the way to the bottom fucking nailed it in every sense of the word. This was, I know a lot of people might say that I'm crazy. I thought the Elimination Chamber was better than this show. That's just my opinion. I can't really put anything over the Chamber just because of the moment that John Cena's heel turn was in that main event segment, plus the 2 Chamber matches, which were incredible. I can't sit here and tell you it was better than the Chamber. Yes, that show went nowhere. But if you're talking about totality, you're talking about from top to bottom, flawless show, this is probably the most flawless show that WWE put on all year. That's my statement. The big takeaway for tonight, and I'm going to pat myself on the back. I got it partially correct. I partially called it. I didn't call it all the way because nobody expected the cash-in to happen in the main event. I thought it was going to be Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. I thought that was the direction. I don't know if plans changed. I don't know if WWE called an audible tonight for Naomi. I don't know if they just completely abandoned plans before the pay-per-view. I have no idea. But tonight, we got this. I said this at 11:53 a.m. for the fucking geeks who want to claim, oh, well, he predicted SummerSlam, JD from NY209. Given the nature of how WWE didn't steal the headlines away from AEW the way that they hoped to this weekend, I can absolutely see them potentially doing a Naomi cash-in tonight on Tiffany Stratton. They need something to spark discussion in a good way. That might be the trick. Now, yes, everybody thought it was going to be Tiffany Stratton because the story that we were getting was Naomi and Jade. Naomi had not once made an appearance on Monday Night Raw since winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. She showed up in the main event tonight and cashed in the briefcase. Naomi is the new WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion. I guess that Liv Morgan injury did lead to an audible being called. I see a lot of people shitting on this, and I see a lot of people claiming that this is not the right decision, this is not the right time, this is not the right woman. For all the people that claim that I am negative and all I do is criticize and all I do is complain, all the people that are complaining about this have exposed themselves as the people that they claim I am. I don't really understand what there is to complain about. Naomi cashed in the briefcase. She won the Women's World Championship. Every woman that has held that briefcase has cashed in successfully. And it continues with Naomi. If Naomi didn't cash in to win this world title, it would have been the other world title. And you probably would have complained about that as well. There was so much discourse over Rhea Ripley winning this championship that people had convinced themselves before the match even concluded. Weeks before the match even took place. Oh, Rhea Ripley's going to win the championship. Oh, Triple H is going to choose Rhea Ripley over Io Sky. Rhea Ripley doesn't deserve it. Rhea Hogan and all this other complete, nauseating fucking garbage that you see on social media because everybody operates with the fucking IQ of a pen cap. And then if Rhea didn't win, Io was going to win, and people still would have complained that Rhea should be the champion. She's the most over female in the entire division. She should be the champion. Blah, 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 blah. No matter what the outcome was, it would have led to complaining. Neither one of those women walked out as the world champion, and now all I see is complaining. Why do you find yourself complaining that Naomi, who is now away from Jade Cargill and Friday Night SmackDown, has found herself now on Monday Night Raw, who's in the midst of a heel run that is probably the best thing that she's done in her entire career? Why do you find that to be a problem? That's what I want to know. Are we not happy for Naomi? For years, all I heard about Naomi is, oh, Naomi, WWE hasn't given her flowers. When is Naomi going to get her opportunity? When is Naomi going to win the Women's World Championship? Why not Naomi? Naomi had to leave the company and go to TNA and lead that division. Now she's back and she hasn't really done much of anything. When did you want this to happen? When did you want this to happen? Not only did Naomi win the Women's Championship and she finally got her flowers, we preserve Rhea taking a loss and Io taking a loss, and neither one of them beat each other. Why do you find that to be a problem? You don't like the narrative that Rhea can't beat Io still is going on and moving on past tonight? Because all I see is Rhea Ripley still winless against Io Sky. Now this sets up a lot that you are going to get coming up, going into SummerSlam, going into Clash in Paris. Clash in Paris has given us Stephanie Vecchia winning the, I was going to say casino fucking gauntlet match. I still got those long-ass matches last night. The Battle Royal, the Evolution Battle Royal. AEW would be so lucky to have her. She made the right decision, didn't she? She won the Battle Royal tonight. She's getting a championship match. She's the number one contender. She's on Raw for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. It would be a lot better to do Stephanie beating Naomi than Stephanie beating Io or Stephanie beating Rhea, isn't it? I look at that as major WrestleMania potential right there. Stephanie could win the championship, and Stephanie could go on and be the women's championship, or be the women's champion and go on and rule the division. Why do you have a problem with that? Why would anybody have a problem with that? Naomi more than likely is just going to be a placeholder. It got the job done. It got WWE the momentum that they need going into Raw. It gave them a major talking point now, which swayed all the discussion in their favor on social media. That's two things. You preserve Rhea and Io taking the pin, 3. The narrative of Rhea not beating Io is still intact, 4. You may line up now a fresh SummerSlam match for Naomi, Rhea, and Io, 5. And you keep Rhea, Stephanie, Rhea, Io on ice for now while giving us Naomi and Stephanie at Clash in Paris, potentially, 6. And Monday Night Raw isn't really lighting the world on fire either, so Naomi cashing in and now showing up on Monday Night Raw is a breath of fresh air that women's division certainly needs. Because I said on Monday, how many women on that show, and I said this on Monday, and I'm going to repeat it again because I'm not sure if anybody listened to me and they made the appropriate changes, or I'm just fucking great at what I do. I said it on Monday, and all the OGs in the chat, please chime in and let me know that I'm factually correct. I said on Monday that the top of the card on Monday Night Raw's women's division is looking a little too babyface heavy. There's no real heels outside of Becky Lynch. So what did they do here, folks? Chat. Number 7. Naomi now is on Raw, and Monday Night Raw's women's division gets another great top-level heel. So once again, I need to reiterate and ask, why do you find this to be a problem? I don't understand why people are complaining when I just listed 7 fucking positives, all because this one decision was made. I think everybody needs to zip their fucking mouths and understand what's going on around them. You see, I watch the show with a different pair of eyes than everybody else. I don't get everything right. But everything I talk about on this show is pretty much spot on. I'm not some fucking dolt who comes on here in front of a microphone and doesn't know what they're talking about. These are things that I've already discussed previously on previous streams. So now I see it playing out, and then I start seeing people complain because their favorites didn't win. WWE made the adjustments that Monday Night Raw needed, and WWE made the adjustments in the light of Liv Morgan being injured. And they made the adjustments to save their major matches for later in the year during bigger shows that are coming up. Plus, Rhea Ripley, here's another one. You can add number 8 to that. Rhea Ripley walking into Perth as women's champion still could be on the horizon. Maybe they want her walking in to Perth as the women's world champion. So I don't understand why everybody is bent out of shape. That Io lost, that Rhea lost, that Naomi won the championship. They got a plan, and they acted accordingly. They needed something to get that momentum back in their favor, and this was the best course of action. I love what they did tonight. Plus, it gets Monday Night Raw a top-level heel in that division, and Naomi is fucking killing it. Good for her. I'm incredibly happy and incredibly proud of the work that woman has put in, because she, out of everybody on that roster, deserves her fucking flowers. Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria. They had one of the best women's matches, maybe in all of pro wrestling this year. Triple threat match for the IC title. On the bookend of the show, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley probably put on the best women's match of the weekend, period. This was better, in my opinion, than Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné at All in Texas. This was the best women's match of the weekend. Rhea and Io have now been a part of two of the best women's matches of the entire year, number 1 and number 2. Number 2 would be, depending on which one you liked more. I like a good one-on-one match. The setting of WrestleMania might swing that one in its favor, but the triple threat match at WrestleMania on night 2 to open WrestleMania night 2, and then this one, number 1 or number 2, however you put them on your list, two of the best women's matches of the entire year. Gee, I don't hear all the Rhea haters today. I don't hear all the what happened to the Rhea Ripley can't wrestle crew? Where's that camp at? Where are those people? Have you guys heard that Rhea Ripley can't wrestle? Man, you guys are eerily silent tonight. What happened? What happened? You fall asleep? You got too drunk? You went to go fucking hide yourself under your pillows? What happened? Yeah, that's right. Shut the fuck up. The Rhea Ripley hate is forced. Excellent main event. Battle Royal. Stephanie Vaquer. She's now the number 1 contender for the Monday Night Raw Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Pretty predictable. But man, what a heartfelt moment from that woman standing in that ring tonight. She fucking killed it. Another one I'm incredibly proud of. And a huge fan of what that woman does and what that woman represents, man. That is genuine. That was great. Started a little rough, that Battle Royal, but they ended with the right winner, and they ended in a great way. Women's Tag Team Championships were on the line. That was fun. We got 4 teams in that fatal 4-way. We got NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown in that fatal 4-way, and that was very good. Jordynne Grace challenged for the NXT Women's Championship. And Mariah May, Blake Monroe, already has turned heel. Jordynne Grace clearly has not watched anything that Mariah May has done previously on TNT, TBS, and Max. She basically set herself up for her own demise. And then we had Jade Cargill versus Naomi in what I thought was a very good showing for Jade Cargill. That was probably the best one-on-one match that she's had. And that was the precursor to what we got with Naomi cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase in the main event. Also, Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. They went 10 minutes. They had a very spirited sprint for 10 minutes. And it was exactly what it needed to be. All in all, Evolution was one of the best shows that WWE has done all year, and it may be the best show of your pro wrestling weekend. Absolutely tremendous show, and something that WWE is certainly going to be hearing a lot of from their fan base. I'm not sure if it's going to be an every year thing, but I think this show will solidly give us a third WWE Women's Evolution PLE. Thank you guys very much for joining me here on Off the Script. We had a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are awesome. We got almost 4,000 people in here on YouTube. You guys are great. We got like another 2,000 on X. You guys are fucking tremendous, man. You guys are fucking tremendous. You know, I also, on top of the Rhea Ripley haters and the Rhea Ripley can't wrestle brigade, the JD has fallen off, and the JD has a dead channel brigade. They seemingly have gone quiet as well, which I usually hear once or twice every other week. What happened? Not only did we have the biggest AEW stream in the community last night, the biggest AEW stream that we've done on this channel, 70,000 views for that show last night. Look at what we're doing tonight. We're not going anywhere, bro. We're not even supposed to be here, according to the fucking shill journalists and the other fucking cocksuckers in the community. We're not supposed to be here, man. We're not supposed to be as popular as we are. You know what we say? Fuck them. What we do here is better than anybody else, and that's why you always show up here, man. I'm very proud of you guys. Thank you for trusting in me. I love what I do. I love to entertain, and I'm glad you guys have made this your destination tonight. Evolution, we're going to talk about it. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys get those thumbs up in. Let's try for 1,000 likes right here on the live stream for Evolution. We are well on our way there. We got 830 likes. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000. That is the goal. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Any questions, comments, concerns, opinions, thoughts, send them my way, man. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Go check out all the other videos on the channel. We were live for All In. 4.5 hours of All In discussion. The absolute best stream that I think Jacy and myself have done AEW-wise. Go check that out. We also uploaded a regular standard review. Felt like the old days. A regular standard review of Saturday night's main event. I discuss my thoughts on the Seth Rollins injury. I give my opinion on the Bill Goldberg retirement and WWE cutting him off in the main event segment. Go and check that out. It's all on the homepage right now if you guys missed any of that. And please check out my sponsor for tonight's show, Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. All you guys need to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Let's get on with this review. Actually, before I do that, because I can't let this go without...
I drank a beer. I drank another beer.
2 beers, Havili.
3 beers. 4 beers.
4!
Oh, no. 5 beers. Oh, no. 6 beers. 7 beers. 8 beers. 9 beers. And a Bloody Mary.
My guy Havili comes in with a $100 super chat. Havili, you son of a bitch. This guy says, what's up, JD? Shout out from Brisbane, Australia. How you doing today? It is Monday, the 14th of July, 2025. Congratulations to Naomi. She deserves it. Rank these shows best to worst this weekend. Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, Hog Texas, Great American Bash, Saturday night's main event, All In, or Evolution. Well, Havili, honestly, because that's all I operate in, man, honesty. I did not watch Ring of Honor. I did not watch House of Glory. I did not watch NXT. All I did was watch Saturday night's main event, All In, and Evolution. Too much pro wrestling, man. I can't be bothered with all this other pro wrestling, man. My head was already just waiting to explode. And if I added any more, I could not physically do it. But I'm going to go All In, Evolution, and Saturday night's main event just from the ones that I have watched. But thank you, brother. Thank you for the bomb. Appreciate you very, very much. And please, another round of applause here. Dovey walks into the beer garden. She drops 100 and she buys herself several shots of whiskey. And then she buys a round for everybody in the venue, man. $100 super chat. No message at all. Just showing some love. We love Dovey and we love Havili. If you guys want to get in on the super chats, man, keep that energy up. I love it. Thank you very much for all of your support right here as we get into this Evolution post show. We start things off with a triple threat match. We have Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and Bayley for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Yes, the first one out and the first thing that we hear on Evolution Sunday night, ladies and gentlemen, is role model. Do-do-do. Whatever her fucking song is, man. Awful. Just an awful, awful theme. Thank God the pro wrestler is not awful. I love Bayley. Bayley's great. Lyra's great. Becky has been great. The build for this hasn't really been all that exciting. It wasn't super exciting coming on into the show. I kind of realized and figured out, you guys as well, that this was going exactly the way we all kind of predicted. It was either going to be Lyra or Bayley getting an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship, and they just decided to throw both of the ladies in there and make it a triple threat match, as they both have been eyeing Becky Lynch in the Intercontinental Championship. The result was one of the best matches all weekend. This was a tremendous triple threat match. Maybe one of the best women's matches that WWE put on all year. And by far, as far as women's wrestling is concerned, in all of pro wrestling all year. This was great. Crowd was hot. WWE, I don't know if they sold the joint out at the State Farm Arena, but they were pretty close. I know they moved a lot of tickets late in the game. I think they had upwards towards 8,200 people in that arena tonight for Evolution, and they were fucking great all night. Atlanta was hot. We pick it up here. Start the match off. Everybody's trading moves. Becky Lynch suplex Bayley into the barricade. 3 minutes. We already got someone going into the barricade. Lyra Valkyria, she wiped out both Bayley and Becky with a flying crossbody. Lyra hit Becky with a fisherman suplex, but Bayley broke up the cover with a flying elbow. So Bayley, she's going at it with Becky Lynch, hits a sunset flip powerbomb into an upside down Lyra in the corner, which looked great. And she goes for a cover and gets a 2 count. Becky Lynch hit Bayley with a superplex. Bayley repeatedly blocked attempts at submissions until Lyra knocked both ladies down with a flying leg drop. This got another good pop. Got a lot of good pops in this match. We got a "This is awesome" chant. Couple of "This is awesome" chants. Everything's awesome to the WWE fans. You could take a fucking shit in the middle of the ring during a boring match. This is awesome. Becky Lynch followed with a DDT and reverse DDT combination maneuver on both Bayley and Lyra. She goes for a cover. Covered Lyra for a 2 count. Becky Lynch and Lyra traded counters until Becky hit a manhandle slam. Bayley broke up the cover. Bayley then hits Lynch with a Bayley to belly. Lyra broke up the cover, and we got another "This is awesome" chant. The fans were very much into this. Lyra hits her finish, the Nightwing, on Becky Lynch. Bayley broke up the cover. Bayley then hit Lyra with the rose plants, and at this point, you saw Becky just laying in the distance. She had herself propped up on the rope. She was just kind of watching from afar. Bayley hits Lyra with the rose plant, and instead of breaking up the cover to continue the match, Becky Lynch flew in and caught Bayley with a fucking absolutely fluid as fuck backslide. It was almost like a fucking magician's act. She flew in and then in one motion kind of twisted, spun around, and delivered a backslide on Bayley that got her the 1, 2, 3. I posted it on my Twitter page if you guys want to go check it out and see what I'm talking about. Fucking absolutely great pinfall, man. If you want to talk about pinfalls this year, if there's such a thing, what's the best pinfall this year? This may actually be the best pinfall that I've seen in pro wrestling all year. Such a fucking beautiful way to end this match. Bayley can't be mad at it. Lyra can't be mad at it. Becky, basically, with this pinfall, showed everybody and showed both of these other ladies that Becky is the fucking GOAT. That's basically what it is. I am better than you two, and I need you to understand that from this point on. That was such a show-offy pin. It was almost like a fucking, fuck you, man. I'm done. That's my statement. Goodbye. Type of pinfall. Love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely great match. This was great. Great way to open the show. I mean, you go and do an Evolution show, and you start the fucking show off with 2 of the 4 horsewomen. Can't get any better than that, bro. I said this on social media. Bayley is one of the best female performers that will ever live. I don't think Bayley gets enough credit. I don't think Bayley gets enough credit for what she does in the ring, and I don't think Bayley gets enough credit for how much she loves wrestling in the women's division. Bayley was one, and I said this same thing about Sasha when she was there. You will never find two women, especially during that era, that love that division more than both Sasha and Bayley. Mercedes has gone on to do whatever the fuck she's doing now, and she's all about herself and less about the division that she's in. Bayley is still all about the division that she's in. One of the GOATs. Lyra, you see that WWE is propelling her to be the future of the women's division. She has come a long way from what we've seen in NXT to what we see now, man. She is great, and she's still growing. And it's a pleasure to watch her grow. She needs to tie up some loose ends and cut a more comfortable promo. I think that right now is her weak point. But what she does in the ring, she's great. I hope the fans are really resonating to Lyra. And then Becky, listen, man, this heel run has been great. I've had my reservations about it when I first seen it. I didn't understand it. I thought it was rushed. I thought it was forced. But, man, she settled into this role, man, and she is absolutely owning the role. Every time Becky gets into the ring, she makes everybody that she's in there with better. And I've been very hard on Becky Lynch in years past. This is the best year that I think Becky Lynch has had since she had the whole man thing going on, and she really kind of turned that corner and became the face of that division. This has been the best Becky Lynch we've seen since then. Tremendous match. Great stuff. Great way to open the show. Becky Lynch retains the Intercontinental Championship. What we do from this point on, I don't know. I'm sure WWE could manufacture another match with Becky and Bayley or Becky and Lyra. I don't know where they go going into SummerSlam, but this was a definitive win. This was a statement victory. She didn't cheat, and she used what she brought to the dance here, which is her ability as a pro wrestler to beat both Bayley and Lyra. So no nefarious shit, no cheating, no hooking the ropes, nothing like that, man. She won clean, and she showed why she's the Intercontinental Champion for a reason. We got a lot of legends and WWE personnel in attendance for this Evolution show tonight. The first ones that they showed off were Ava, NXT General Manager Ava, and Mark Henry. And then all of a sudden we get a shriek. And it was a very recognizable shriek. All of a sudden we hear, "Excuse me." I'm not going to scream it because I could never duplicate Vicky Guerrero, but she was in the crowd, and WWE let her scream her catchphrase, Banshee her catchphrase, 3 different times. She smiled, she was waving, she gave high five to some fans, and that was basically the first round of, hey, look who we invited to the show tonight. Second match, Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace. She went one-on-one with Jayne, who was the NXT Women's Champion. Jayne's out there with the cosplay Temu version of Toxic Attraction. Fatal Influence. Wade Barrett had a listen, man. The commentary was a little rough around the edges tonight, man. Wade Barrett called them Fatal Attraction. Even he thinks it. Even he knows it. Isn't this similar to what she did with Toxic Attraction? Yeah, it's Fatal Attraction. He just fused. He just fused both groups together, man. Fatal Attraction. He said that more than once, by the way. Fatal Influence. Jordynne Grace versus Jayne for the NXT Women's Championship. You know, a lot of people were looking for me to give Jayne her flowers tonight. I will not do that. Do you want to know why? Because Jayne doesn't muster up that emotion in me. I watch Jayne, chat. You know what I feel? I feel nothing. I feel nothing when I watch Jayne wrestle. I actually feel boredom when I watch Jayne wrestle. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if they've straddled her with the same gimmick. I don't know if it's just the same Toxic Attraction group just under a different name with Fatal Influence? I don't know. Just more of the same. I don't look at her as a leader of the group either. She's just there. She's basically a cosplay female Shawn Michaels. She's trying to be Shawn Michaels. With her outfits, her mannerisms, the way she moves, the looks that she gives, the glasses. What am I watching? I'm watching a female Shawn Michaels. Everything but the in-ring ability of a Shawn Michaels. Jordynne Grace completely, 100%, led this match. This was Jordynne's match. It went 10 minutes. It didn't need to go any more than this. Was not bad. By any means, it was not bad. And we got a massive heel turn. Not really massive, but a not-so-shocking heel turn at the end of the match. Jordynne Grace had the early advantage here. Jacy catapulted her into the middle rope. Fallon Henley, behind the referee's back, choked Jordynne Grace while Jacy Jayne distracted the referee. Blake Monroe, the former Mariah May, did not react. Maybe she didn't see it. Maybe she just let it happen because it was a possible tease for what was to happen later. Jacy Jayne was in control. Jordynne Grace hits a big power bomb for a 2. Jacy regained control. Big neck breaker. Goes for a cover on Jordynne for another 2 count. Jacy Jayne then missed a corner cannonball. They trade cradles back and forth. Jordynne Grace gets up, hits a fisherman suplex for a 2 count. Jacy Jayne then hit a hurricanrana off the top and a knee strike for a near fall. Fallon Henley then tossed the title belt into the ring, and Blake Monroe walks over and headbutts her down as she drops the title. The referee stopped Jacy Jayne from using the title belt, and Jordynne Grace rolled her up for a 2 count. Jordynne Grace then follows up with a back fist to Jacy Jayne. So the belt is now back on the floor. Jasmine Nix picks up the belt, and she starts admiring the championship. I believe she's about to hand the championship and put the championship back into the possession of Jacy Jayne so that she may use it as a weapon. So with Nix holding the championship, Blake Monroe comes on over and punches her away. Monroe holds on to the belt. She's holding the belt. She's kissing the belt. She's telling, I got the belt. This is going to be yours. Finish her off. Fallon Henley tried getting in the ring, which distracted the referee again. Jacy Jayne then Irish whipped Jordynne Grace into the ropes, and then all of a sudden, Blake Monroe on the outside smashes the title belt into Jordynne's back off the Irish whip, and Jacy Jayne followed with a discus punch, and that was enough for the 1, 2, 3. So Jacy Jayne retains the NXT Women's Championship. Fatal Influence were surprised by Blake Monroe's actions. She gets into the ring. She hands the championship to Jacy Jayne. She bites her finger like she usually does in the seductive way that she does, and she exits stage left. She walks up the aisle. Fatal Influence didn't know what to think of this, and Jordynne Grace obviously did not see any of it coming. Now, I did watch NXT this week, and I saw the vignette that Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe cut. It was very hokey, and it was kind of cringy. They were at a beauty parlor. They were getting back massages, and they were getting their nails done, and it was very, very lighthearted fun to play into the babyface character of Blake Monroe. I actually thought it came off pretty well, depending how, cringy NXT could be. I thought it was something that played pretty well into Blake's character, and to try and humanize Jordynne Grace in this pairing. Now, I didn't think that this pairing was going to last very long, because we did hear rumors not too long ago that WWE's got some solid plans for Blake Monroe, and those plans mean heel turn for her. Everybody could joke that maybe Jordynne Grace did not pay attention to AEW television. At that point, nobody would blame her. She didn't really figure out Mariah May, and she didn't really have a clue as to what and who Mariah May was. Here, Blake Monroe showed that she's very well still Mariah May. Mariah May, Blake Monroe, she is just a better heel than she is babyface. WWE did the right thing by bringing her in and starting her off as a babyface, because that audience at Full Sail, or the PC in Winter Park, that crowd at the Performance Center every week, I mean, you could trot out anybody from the other promotion and they would have been fucking revered as the biggest babyface of all time. So when Blake Monroe showed up, they cheered her and they were fucking giving her all the love that the NXT crowd usually gives anybody who walks in from the rival promotion. They did the same thing with Ricky Starks, and they'll do the same thing with everybody else that comes after Blake Monroe. That's just the way that crowd operates. So WWE had to play into the reaction that they knew she was going to get on the first night. That doesn't mean she was going to stay that way. They wanted you to think that she was going to stay that way, but we all know she's a better heel than she's a babyface. And a Blake Monroe, Jordynne Grace match is a lot better with Jordynne as the babyface and Blake Monroe as the heel. And we all heard the rumors for weeks now that Jordynne Grace may very well get called up to SmackDown. This may be her final match on NXT television. This may be her final feud. Imagine that. Blake Monroe, now heel, one-on-one with Jordynne Grace. And Jordynne Grace puts over Blake Monroe on her way up to the main roster, and Blake Monroe has a solid foundation for herself on NXT television. I don't know why anybody would be opposed to that. That sounds great to me. This was the right move. Now, the winner of this match is going to wrestle Masha Slamovich, who's fucking great, at Slammiversary at the UBS Arena. That's next weekend on the 20th. I may be hanging around the UBS Arena if anybody's going to that show, man. So if you see me roaming around, there's a bar on site there. I forgot what it's called. If you guys see me, don't hesitate to come up, man. Let's talk some pro wrestling. I'll be hanging around there. Probably meeting a couple of friends out there. But Jacy Jayne now is going to be defending the NXT Women's Championship against Masha Slamovich, who's the TNA Knockouts champion. Title for title. So I don't know how that match ends. Typically when a promotion does a cross-promotional title match, most of the time it ends in a fucking DQ or no contest because they don't know who they want to win. I would strap Masha with the championships, honestly. If Masha is the NXT Women's Champion, man, you could not ask for a better women's champion to represent your brand, honestly. And honestly, with the partnership, I don't really know what TNA is getting out of it. If WWE was so in bed with the TNA partnership, I think we'd get more than Jacy Jayne and Trick Williams showing up for Slammiversary, man. What about the New Day? What about AJ Styles or a major name that could help push some tickets for that show? I don't really understand what this partnership is doing for TNA. WWE has done nothing to help them even sell tickets for a UBS show that they're fucking struggling to sell tickets for. Jacy Jayne is not going to be enough. Trick Williams is not going to be enough. Mike Santana becoming the world champion is not going to be enough. We love Mike Santana, but it's not going to be enough. I would put the belt on Masha, honestly. I would put the belt on Masha. She is fucking great. This was a good match. Jacy didn't look out of place. It was just Jordynne. Jordynne is that good. Let's be real. Jordynne is just that good. Looking forward to the Blake Monroe, Jordynne Grace match. Blake Monroe operating as a heel. It's going to make for some good NXT segments down there on Tuesday night. Another round of WWE legends here. We got Ivory, Jazz, Maurice, and Jacqueline, all in attendance in the crowd. Great. Jacqueline does not age, bro. Neither does Jazz. They all look great. Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team match was up next. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the Judgment Day. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then Sol Ruca and Zaria. Sol Ruca, man. I could watch Sol Ruca all night, chat. How great is Sol Ruca, man? Oh, my goodness. That woman is quite the sight to behold, huh? Sol Ruca? Yeah, I know. Stephanie's still my favorite, though, but Sol Ruca's got to be an easy number 2 right now. Easy. Love it. This was a good match. This was a good match. Everybody got the appropriate entrances here. We got Charlotte, Flair, and Alexa getting their Evolution entrances. They both got a nice reaction coming on out. The Kabuki Warriors got a nice reaction. Judgment Day, they're out there doing their thing. And then Ruca and Zaria, man. Really like the pairing there. Both are very entertaining to watch. Zaria and Ruca, I think, handled themselves well here on the main roster against all these other main roster tag teams. So good on them. Asuka and Kairi were all over Roxanne and the Judgment Day until Rodriguez tagged in and knocked both of them down with a clothesline. Rodriguez and Perez were in control. Crowd chanted, "We want Charlotte. We want Charlotte." I wasn't sure if Atlanta was smoking a little something down there or we have traveled back to some unknown dimension, bro. I don't know what happened. So Bliss got a good reaction when she tagged and went after Roxanne Perez. Charlotte did not come in yet. Zaria tagged in, blocked Bliss's offense because, Zaria is just a fucking tank. And Alexa is so tiny. She ran right through Alexa. Hits an inverted suplex. Ruca flew in with the springboard facebuster for 2. The crowd cheered when Charlotte got a hot tag finally from Alexa Bliss, and she ran wild on the Judgment Day. She delivered knife-edge chops, and she had 8,000 plus at the State Farm Arena. Woo! Woo! She went and chopped everybody, man. The crowd, I thought that we were living on another planet, bro. I wasn't sure what I was watching. I was watching the show on my couch and I audibly let out a, what the fuck? Like, what am I watching here, bro? Has Alexa Bliss done God's work? Has Alexa Bliss done something that the Lord Christ could not even do, bro? Has Alexa honestly made Charlotte Flair likable? I don't know. I don't know if I could be able to do the android anymore, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Charlotte's too popular now, bro. After a couple of weeks of this pairing, she's now too popular.
I loved the reaction tonight. It made my membrane very happy. JD from New York 206.
It's crazy. Unbelievable. Charlotte was over, man, and listen, good for her. She doesn't want to be a heel. She wants to be a babyface. This was something that I didn't even think was going to work out. I didn't even understand what the fucking partnership was. I really didn't. Now that I see it, and I see it materializing on television, it's great. It really is. Alexa looks like she's having a good time. For the first time in years, chat, years, it finally looks like Charlotte is having a good time. I think for the first time in 10 years, Charlotte has realized that she doesn't need to be the center of attention. This tag team has answered all of their problems. This pairing has answered all of their problems. Everybody's problem with Charlotte Flair was that she was constantly in the title picture year over year, month over month, week over week, day after day. At some point, the fans are going to start asking, what the fuck is going on? Comes back, she gets a title match. Come back, she gets a title match. Come back, she gets a title match. She wrestles somebody else right back into a title match. Cashes in she's out for 9 months. Comes back and gets a title match. Comes back and calls her shot for a title match. Charlotte's got to be in the title discussion every fucking time. No, she don't. That's so unrealistic, bro. And from a fan's point of view, it's kind of infuriating to watch. With the talent on this roster and how great this women's division is, why constantly go back to Charlotte Flair all the time? You can still be the queen. You could still be the best of what you do without being in the championship title picture. For the first time in 10 years, it actually looks like she's having a good time. And she understands the mission. I don't need to be where everybody else is in the main event. I am the main event. I'm fucking Charlotte Flair. And I'm doing some great shit on the roster with this Alexa Bliss pairing. As long as it keeps her out of the title picture. You want to give them the Women's Tag Team Championships? By all means, give them the titles. They don't mean shit. They don't mean shit. The women's division is so loaded that giving them the tag team titles could be the most innocent thing that you could possibly decide to do. So crowd was all over Charlotte. They love Charlotte. She ran wild on the Judgment Day. She hit Perez with a spear for a near fall. Rodriguez booted Charlotte. Checked on Perez. Asuka and Kairi got their turn to shine next. Zaria broke up Kairi's cover of a move that she hit on Perez. Zaria tagged herself in and hit both of the Kabuki Warriors with a vertical suplex. Charlotte broke up the cover. Sol Ruca hit the Soul Snatcher on Charlotte. Of all the women, they allowed Sol Ruca to hit the Soul Snatcher on Charlotte, man. That must have been cool. That got a good pop. Moments later, Charlotte pulled Bliss from safety, and Zaria speared Sol Ruca by accident. So a little accident here from Sol Ruca and Zaria. Rodriguez powerbomb Bliss over the top rope into Asuka, Kairi, and Zaria. Rodriguez instructed Perez to take out Charlotte, so she hit a suicide dive. Rodriguez then hit Sol Ruca with a Tejana bomb for the 1-2-3. Judgment Day wins, and they retain the tag team championships. I expected this to go a little bit longer. Out of all the matches tonight, I expected this to get at least 15 minutes. This went about roughly 10 minutes. And it did what it needed to do. Got some great in-ring spots there. You got the Soul Snatcher on Charlotte. Charlotte got her moment to shine. And Raquel Rodriguez, man, you know, I know Raquel Rodriguez has been battling some personal health problems. I wasn't feeling her inclusion in the Judgment Day when they introduced her into the Judgment Day via Liv Morgan. Man, has there been an uptick in fans really getting behind Raquel Rodriguez? Like, she has honestly, in the last couple of months, really turned out some good stuff, and she's becoming a nice fixture on the show. She's becoming a great addition to the Judgment Day, and she's really starting to kind of become her own character now, finally. Like, she's got a personality. She's got a little bass in the voice now. She's got the presence in the ring where she's a dominating figure. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but, you know, it's taken a while for her to get to where we all thought she would be coming up from NXT, and she's finally now doing that with the Judgment Day. I love that the Judgment Day gets shit on a lot, but I also love the fact that people don't realize that if you're in the Judgment Day, your partnership with the Judgment Day is basically you're in. It's like your key to success. It happened for Liv. It happened for Rhea. It happened for Damian. It happened for Dominic. It's going to happen for Roxanne and whoever else joins the fucking Judgment. The Judgment Day is basically Triple H's version of the Bullet Club. That's what it is. Revolving members. I don't think the Judgment Day is ever going to die. Why should it? If it's got this vibe around it where if you are in the Judgment Day and you reside in the Judgment Day clubhouse, that basically it's going to propel you to the next level. It's going to set you up for success. Why would you want to get rid of something like that? It's a built-in group that has a lot of equity on the show, and fans know it to be a success. Why would you get rid of it? Why would you kill it? I don't understand it. I just think she's come into her own. It's very nice to see. Her and Roxanne, they were on a little bit of a rocky relationship since the announcement that they would be the new team going forward in light of Liv's injury. Looked like Roxanne finally believed, or Raquel rather, finally believed in Roxanne, and she's kind of warming up to this new partnership. She didn't know how it was going to go, but after tonight's victory, she's all for it. They retain the tag team championships. I do see Charlotte and Alexa challenging the Judgment Day at SummerSlam for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. I could see Charlotte and Alexa winning those titles in New Jersey. Tori Wilson, Molly Holly, who looks like she doesn't age at all, and Melina in the crowd. The next round of legends here for WWE. Yes, Judgment Day's music is the only bad thing about the group. I wish that they would totally go back to Alter Bridge, really. Their music is awful. I don't even know how it really fits the vibe of Judgment Day, honestly. It's crazy. We just hit 1,000 likes, guys. Thank you so very much. Can we try for 1,250 likes? That's the new goal. If you guys are in the chat and have not hit the thumbs up, please hit that thumbs up. Super chats are also open. Memberships. We're always accepting new memberships. Make sure you guys hit that join button down below. Become a member of the OTS family here on YouTube. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. This was for the WWE Women's World Championship. Tiffany and Trish here. This also went 10 minutes. Actually, not even 10 minutes. I think roughly about 8 or 9 minutes. This was exactly what it needed to be. I don't think anybody's complaining about how short this match went because there was really no build. This was no build at all. They just announced this match because they had some sort of weird partnership going into the Elimination Chamber, and Tiffany needed backup to wrestle Nia and Candice LeRae going into the Elimination Chamber, being that it took place in Toronto. And Tiffany shows up 2 weeks ago and says, well, Rhea Ripley chose Rhea Ripley to be her opponent at Evolution, and Nick Aldis is now giving me the opportunity to choose my own opponent, and I choose you, Trish. I choose you. Man, how lame and uncreative that is. So, for all the people that may complain, this went too short, this was not given enough time, what else did you want? They put zero to little effort into the actual build. What did you want? A 20-minute fucking barn burner between these two ladies? This is exactly what it needed to be. It was a spirited sprint that was high-paced, and it got the job done. Both ladies performed very well in the 8-9 minutes that they were given. That's it. That's all you needed to do. Trish, she wore white, and she had this gold trim on her ring attire. Tiffany wore all red. All red everything, huh? We don't ever want to go back to the days of all red everything. You guys remember? Thank God she wasn't on the fucking show. Imagine her being invited here. Holy shit. Trish had the early edge here. Caught Stratton off guard. Stratus brought Tiffany down off the apron with a Hurricane Rana. Hits a tornado. DDT in the ring. Goes for a quick cover. Gets a 2 count. Tiffany went on offense here. Vertical suplex into a backstabber. And Tiffany followed with a senton bomb, which looked fucking gorgeous. My God, man, did she get some fucking height on that one. Holy shit. Great looking swanton bomb by Tiffany Stratton. They trade counters back and forth. Trish gets the chick kick for 2. Stratton tried for a pretty smooth salt ever. So Trish got her knees up, and then she delivers Stratusfaction for a near fall. Trish went for a moonsault, which was basically called a tribute to Lita on commentary. Trish got her knees up, or Tiffany rather got her knees up as Trish went for the moonsault. Tiffany hit the chick kick, so she basically hit Trish with her own move, followed by the prettiest moonsault ever, and that was it. 1, 2, 3, and Tiffany Stratton predictably retains the championship. Exactly what it needed to be. Now, I said on social media, and I'll throw this tweet up, given the nature of how WWE didn't steal the headlines away from AEW the way that they had hoped this weekend, I can absolutely see them potentially doing an Naomi cash-in tonight on Tiffany Stratton. They need something to spark discussion in a good way. That might be the trick. We were all led to believe that Naomi, because we were not given any other direction on the show, we were led to believe that Naomi was going to be embroiled with Tiffany and Jade and possibly Bianca at SummerSlam. And WWE didn't do any of that tonight. Now, Tiffany lingered in the ring, and Tiffany lingered around ringside. I thought that we might end up seeing Naomi, which we didn't. And after the prettiest moonsault ever, they took her away. They had her walk up the aisleway, and that was basically it. But as far as the match, it was predictable. Nobody expected Tiffany to lose the championship. Tiffany looked very good. She led a decent match with Trish Stratus. Trish, after 25 years, still can do the thing. And they went out there and had a very quick, very explosive match in 9 minutes. Didn't need to go any more than that. The build wasn't really all that special, so it didn't need to go 18, 20 minutes as a World Championship match. It was basically a thank you to Trish for what she's done for the evolution of women's wrestling. And she did that with Tiffany Stratton. So look at it in a way as thank you, Trish, and Tiffany's going to be a major staple in the women's division for years to come. And this was Tiffany getting put over by one of the biggest legends in women's wrestling. No holds barred. We had Jade Cargill versus Naomi up next. Bianca Belair was the special guest referee here. Before we got that, we got some more appearances in the crowd. We got Alundra Blaze in the crowd. And we got Leilani Kai also in the crowd. There was Metro Boomin and Lil Yachty in the crowd. I don't know what they have to do with Women's Evolution, but I'm guessing they're representing the city of Atlanta. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Special guest referee is Bianca Belair. Now, Bianca was added as the special guest referee last night on Saturday night's main event. There was a brawl that happened out of nowhere with Naomi and Jade Cargill. And Nick Aldis showed up and basically made the announcement that he wants things to be called right down the middle. And there's only one person that could do that, and that's going to be Bianca Belair. So she was enlisted here as the special guest referee for this match. I kind of assumed that Naomi wasn't going to win this match. And I assumed if Naomi wasn't going to win this match, that she would eventually win via a cash-in at some point over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I know a lot of people were like, well, Naomi needs to win this match because Jade won the one at WrestleMania. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. WWE has this thing about them, and if you watch enough WWE, you will understand. Every time someone wins the Money in the Bank briefcase and they are embroiled in a feud where it could potentially lead to a cash-in with that person holding the briefcase, getting the one-up over the one that they're challenging for the championship, they don't need to win every match. They don't. Jade won at WrestleMania. So if Jade won here, I wasn't going to make it a big deal because I was pretty confident that WWE would absolutely give Naomi the championship when the time was right. And that's the ultimate win in itself. So it doesn't matter. As long as you don't go on a fucking 7-8 match losing streak. See, what Vince did with the briefcase, when he gave someone the briefcase, he abused it. Like, you can't have someone lose 6, 7, 8 matches in a row and then cry that they are, well, he's got the Money in the Bank briefcase or she's got the Money in the Bank briefcase. They got a guaranteed championship match. It doesn't work that way. You can't have someone lose 7, 8 times in a row while holding the briefcase because you want to start to help build them up as a credible threat to the championship. And when they are the champion, you want to make them look like a great champion. How could they look like a great champion if they lost 7 fucking times before and then they cash in? The first thing I'm going to think about is, well, this person cashed in, but they've also been treated like a loser for the last 2 months. Not really a good look. If you lose once, fine. I'm not going to get bent out of shape. Twice, it is what it is. But Vince abused it. It's something that was just glaringly obvious with the product there when he was running the show. This, I'm not going to really take this as a big deal. Naomi's great. Everybody knows I love Naomi. Naomi is very popular in these parts. Jade, not so much. I was not bothered by Jade's performance tonight. Now, Jade took a lot of offense from Naomi in this match, and she needed to do the selling in this match. Jade got some offense in here, but it was mostly Naomi up until the end. And I will say Jade did not look out of place here. I thought Jade did very well for herself. And I thought the environment here was very much more Jade's style than it was against Asuka in the Queen of the Ring final in Saudi Arabia. Naomi came out first, tried to attack Jade during her entrance. Cargill cut her off. They rang the bell. We get underway. Cargill took forever to set up a table. I don't know what had happened. She was fumbling with the table. Belair went over there. You saw her audibly whisper something to her. So the camera cuts away. Cargill focused on Naomi, who had to start selling for Jade. This was the only downpour portion of the match. Cargill eventually went after Naomi, but Naomi posted her. Cargill speared Naomi moments later. Naomi gave her a bulldog into the steel chair that was set up in the ring. And Naomi then wrapped the chain around Cargill's face. Cargill knocked her off the ropes, wrapped the chain around her fist, started punching Naomi. Cargill then yanked a big camera from the cameraman who was on the apron, took the camera out of the hands of the cameraman and used it to hit Naomi. She followed by placing a trash can lid over Naomi and kicking it, knocking Naomi down. Naomi then rolled out of the ring. Jade tried to basically kill her because there was a toolbox that entered into the match, similar to what CM Punk and Drew McIntyre used in Hell in a Cell. She picked up the red toolbox, held it above her head, and dropped it over the top rope, and Naomi rolled out of the way. You saw the toolbox explode with tools on the outside, and it made this huge noise. If Naomi was hit with that, it could have been bad news. So after the toolbox spot, Naomi drop-kicked Jade Cargill into a TV screen that was set up against the announce desk. And all of a sudden, you start to see the TV screen sputter out. You see smoke from the destroyed TV. That was one of the best spots of the entire night. I thought that was a great visual. A few minutes later, Naomi used the chair to shove Jade Cargill off the apron, and Cargill crashed through a table that Jade had set up earlier, the one that she struggled with. Naomi followed with an X Factor onto a chair. She goes for cover. She gets a near fall. Naomi then placed Cargill on a table and went up to the top rope. Cargill hit her with a chair. She then goes up top and grabs Naomi. There's a table set up in the middle of the ring. Jade and Naomi are jockeying for position. Jade is trying to get Naomi into position, and she finally does. She hits Jaded off of the second rope through the table and wins. 1, 2, 3. She beats Naomi. Bianca Belair raises Jade Cargill's hand, and she gave Jade a look. A look. I don't know what the look was, but she gave her a look at the end of the match. And Jade is now going to solely focus on Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. Naomi took a lot of this match. Jade was on the defensive. This was a lot better than what we got at Night of Champions against Asuka. So there will be no Jade slander here tonight. I will not be going as hard as I did then tonight on Jade. It was fine for what it was. Don't have a problem with Naomi losing. I am worried that Jade could potentially beat Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. I just don't think Jade is ready for that spot. I don't think she's ready for that spot. I don't think she knows what comes with carrying that championship. I don't think she knows the responsibility. I don't think she knows what she needs to do as the champion. You know, I may be old school in mentality when I say this, and I know that there are some people in the chat that may agree with me. If you are the champion of your division, if you are the world champion of your division, you're the champion because you're the best that they got. You're the best at the time that they decided upon giving you the championship. I do not look at Jade Cargill being the best at what she does at this time in her division. I don't think she should be rewarded for that. I don't think we should be rewarding mediocrity. I don't think we should be taking the belt off of Tiffany Stratton. If I'm Triple H and I had the pen here, I don't have Tiffany Stratton lose the championship. I don't have Jade walk into SummerSlam, the odds-on favorite here. I'm booking this Jade Tiffany Stratton match around turning Bianca Belair heel. I think Bianca Belair is going to stick with the plan. Naomi's not factored into this equation anymore. Have Bianca Belair screw Jade Cargill out of the match and have Bianca Belair turn heel on Jade Cargill. Honestly. I think Bianca needs a heel turn. I think Bianca coming back as a babyface is just going to give off a vibe of same old shit. Bianca's great. We've seen babyface Bianca for years and years and years. It is time. It is time for Bianca to take that heel run and make it hers. A Bianca heel versus babyface Tiffany. It's probably the best thing that you could do on that brand if we're not doing a draft or a transfer window or trades. Bianca as a heel versus babyface Jade. I still think Jade is miscast. I just don't get a sense WWE is going to put Jade in the proper presentation. Jade would probably be better as a heel, honestly. I don't see them doing that. They want her to be over. She's not really getting the same reactions as she was when she first got here. I don't think people are really gravitating towards Jade Cargill. I think fans are smartening up, and I think fans are realizing that Jade is all muscle and no substance. She's just all look. There's nothing there to really invest your time in. There's nothing there to truly emotionally invest. Who is she? Like, what you're building her up, and you can sense that WWE is really getting the machine behind her. And a lot of the times fans are, they pick that stuff up pretty easily. They're not stupid. I'm going with Bianca turning heel at SummerSlam. I'm not giving the title to Jade at all, just based on the feelings that I have. If you are the best at what you do at the time you are given, now you are the champion. You're the best because you're the champion because you're the best. Jade Cargill is not the best, nor should she be considered for a championship because she's not ready for that position yet. This was fine. Not as offensive as Jade's last match, and Naomi's great. But Naomi loses here. Jade wins. No holds barred. Typical WWE no holds barred match. We got chairs and kendo sticks, and we got trash cans and tables. I mean, it's the same shit. It's not like Texas Death on AEW television with Moxley and Hangman type of shit. We don't got people being stabbed with forks, gushing blood 3 minutes into the match, but for WWE, standard run-of-the-mill shit. Tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw, WWE has announced a gauntlet match. Another gauntlet match, huh? Gee, I wonder where they got that concept from. WWE is giving us a gauntlet match. CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and Penta. The winner of this 5-way gauntlet match will determine Gunther's SummerSlam opponent. There you go. There you go. It's pretty unpredictable, folks. As long as it's not Jey Uso, I don't give a shit. As long as it's Jey Uso not winning, I'm fine with any of the other 4 winning this match. Braun Breaker, I'll take it. Penta, I'll take it. LA Knight, I'll take it. CM Punk, that's the one I think it's going to be. I think CM Punk's getting the win. But I could see LA Knight or Braun Breaker winning this championship match. I could see it. It could very well be Penta, too. Penta versus Gunther, man, sign me up. Sign me up. As long as it's not Jey Uso. The other 4, I'm fine with. Women's Battle Royal. Winner here earns a World Championship match at Clash in Paris. So that's the show after SummerSlam. SummerSlam's taking place August 2nd, August 3rd, 2-night SummerSlam, first time ever. Clash in Paris is happening, I believe, at the end of August. Everyone got an entrance here. It took several minutes to get everybody into this match because everybody got an entrance, as they should. It's Evolution. You should get some of your own spotlight here, which I'm glad that they did. So we got everybody out there. Nikki Bella entered first. Stephanie Vaquer, she came out second to last. And then Julia was the last. We got Chelsea Green out there. Ivy Nile. We got Jada Parker. Love Jada Parker. She was in there. Lola Vice was in there. Tatum Paxley was in there. Lash Legend was in there. The Secret Hervis were in there. Zelina Vega, who looked very different tonight. She almost looked like something out of the fucking House of Black tonight. She may be undergoing a gimmick change of some way, which might not be a bad thing, but she still came out to that shitty theme music. Nia Jax was in there. So we got a lot of women in this thing. Nia Jax, unfortunately, eliminated Tatum Paxley 8 seconds into the match. I don't know why. Tatum is pretty popular down in NXT. Why they just flew her into Atlanta to be in a match and eliminated in 8 seconds. Izzy Dame was in the match. She got eliminated very quickly, too. So thanks for coming, Tatum and Izzy Dame from NXT. Nia Jax then tossed Kalani Jordynne into Paxley and Dame. I'm surprised Kalani Jordynne didn't last longer in this battle royal, man. A former NXT North American champion eliminated within seconds. It's a very brutal start to this thing, man. I didn't really understand this. So, actually, Kalani Jordynne, she did not get eliminated. She didn't land on her feet. Her momentum carried her into the announce table. Jordynne did a handstand walk to get back into the ring, got a nice reaction. Ivy Nile, she went after Stephanie as Chad Gable instructed, but Julia eliminated Ivy Nile. Julia and Vaquer had a stare down. Crowd chanted lightly for Nikki Bella here. Crowd was quiet until Vaquer set up Nikki for Devil's Kiss, and then they booed when Chelsea Green broke it up. Maxine Dupree did her reverse worm and then convinced Natalya to do it. Natalya tried it. It looked awful. This led to Jada Parker eliminating Natalya. So now Natalya can go get angry at Maxine. Candice LeRae, or what Michael Cole said, Candice Michelle, eliminated Dupree. We got Kalani Jordynne shoved Jada Parker into Candice LeRae, knocking her out of the ring. I don't know why Michael Cole started calling Candice LeRae Candice Michelle. I don't know. Was it by accident or was it like a rib? I don't know. Michin, B-Fab, they eliminated Jada. I don't know why you got two jobbers eliminating an up-and-comer like Jada. I don't get it. So they eliminated Jada. Nia tried to eliminate Kalani. She remained on the apron. However, LeRae already eliminated, yanked Jordynne out from behind, and then she was eliminated. So she lasted a couple of minutes. She wasn't immediately eliminated, but unceremoniously eliminated as Kalani Jordynne. Zelina Vega, unfortunately, eliminated Julia. And I am afraid, chat, that Zelina Vega may be Julia's opponent at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. Because they, quite honestly, don't have anybody else. So I'm not really excited about that. So Zelina lost the title to Julia, and then she eliminates Julia here in the Battle Royal. Julia should have gotten a lot more time in this thing. I don't know why she didn't last up until the end with Stephanie and Lash Legend. I don't. Imagine being the Women's United States Champion and then getting eliminated by Zelina Vega. Give me a break. B-Fab went after Piper Niven. Niven threw her out for an elimination. Chelsea then eliminated Michin. So Michin tried yanking out Green, but Alba Fire wiped out Michin with a suicide dive. That was fucking awesome. I gotta admit, that spot was awesome. She's really living the Secret Service gimmick. She took a bullet for Chelsea Green. Lash Legend eliminated Zelina Vega by press slamming her out of the ring. Nikki Bella then tossed Alba Fire as she posed with her partners. Lola Vice was in there. So Lola and Nikki Bella did the hip twirl thing where they're both shaking their asses. I am not complaining. So they swivel their hips together until Piper Niven both knocked them down. Niven eliminated Lola Vice, who I don't even know if she eliminated anybody. I don't think by my notes she eliminated anybody here. Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer eliminated Piper Niven together. Vaquer then gave Chelsea Green a Devil's Kiss, which got the biggest reaction in the match because Stephanie wanted to do it earlier in the match and Chelsea broke it up, which got a lot of boos. So she finally did it here, and it got a great reaction on Chelsea Green. Nikki Bella then eliminated Chelsea. Nia Jax then took out Nikki. And then I laughed out loud, man. She took out Nikki here, knocks her down, and then Nia Jax does her own hip swivel I don't know why I found that. I was legitimately laughing out loud, man. Nia she was on something tonight, man. I don't know, but she trolled Nikki with her own hip swivel. So after the tease there of the hip swivel, we got Nia placing Nikki on the apron. Lash Legend flew in with a boot. Nia moved, and Lash Legend booted Nikki out of the ring, eliminating Nikki Bella. I guess she's not getting that trip to Paris after all, huh? Lash Legend then celebrated like it was a big deal, like she won the match. And she was in the final three with Stephanie Vaquer and Nia Jax. Vaquer and Legend teamed up to knock Jax out of the ring for an elimination. And the crowd cheered as the final two faced off. They traded some light offense here, which included Stephanie hitting a 619 on Lash Legend. Legend caught Vaquer off the ropes, and they stumbled over the top rope to the final sell of the match. Vaquer grabbed Legend with her legs, and like a fucking spider wrapping their prey in a web, this woman transitioned into the Devil's Kiss, delivered the Devil's Kiss on the apron, and knocked Lash Legend out of the ring. Stephanie Vaquer wins the Evolution Battle Royal, and she's getting a WWE Women's World Championship match at Clash in Paris against whomever the champion is. It could be Rhea Ripley. It could be Io Sky. It could be Naomi. So Stephanie is going to be challenging for the championship at Clash in Paris. This went 15 minutes. Wasn't the greatest battle royal that I've ever seen, but the right winner certainly won here. Stephanie McMahon, who was trotted out there at the beginning of the show. She hosted the show with Joe Tessitore. She interviewed Stephanie in the ring. Stephanie cut a heartfelt promo admitting that doing English interviews was hard for her and that English wasn't her first language. But wrestling was her first language. She might not have English as her first language, chat, but that woman speaks very good English for the time that she's been in the WWE. You can obviously tell that she's working on her English, which is a great thing to see and a great thing to hear. She knows what needs to be done. She thanks Stephanie McMahon and every woman in the locker room, every woman before her, because now they could make history. She would keep working hard and promised that they would remember her name forever because she is Stephanie Vaquer La Primera. This was great. Standard Battle Royal. Nothing really special in this thing. A highlight here, a highlight there. Stephanie won. The right winner won. I don't know what they're going to do with the Women's Championship. I mean, they just may... I wouldn't be shocked at all if they just strap Stephanie with the championship and run with Stephanie. I mean, is there anybody that has been as hot as Stephanie? I mean, as soon as she got here, man, it was just instant takeoff. So why not? Like, if it's something you feel now and the reactions are only going to get bigger, and especially with her being someone who had much of her resume happen overseas, she's going to be incredibly over in Paris, bro. That could be a big deal for her over there. I could see them strapping her with the championship and just saying, fuck it, we're going to take Stephanie into WrestleMania. Honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I don't think anybody's going to complain if that's the case either. Again, you have to be the very best at what you do. Right now, I mean, they got a lot of women that could be the very best at what they do. That's why Io was the champion. Rhea makes a good case. Naomi deserves a spot in that. She's worked her ass off. Stephanie is certainly on the rise. They got a lot of women on that Raw roster, bro. A lot of women on that Raw roster right now. I like this move. So we'll see what happens. It could be Stephanie Naomi, Stephanie Rhea, Stephanie Io. We don't know what the Women's Championship match at SummerSlam is going to be. I think we'll have a clearer picture when they announce what that match is going to be and who Stephanie is going to be challenging in Paris. Quavo and Funny Marco were shown in the crowd. I guess they ran out of legends and former Divas legends that wanted to accept their invite. Main event. Time for the main event, man. Io Sky. She defends the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. When you talk about matches of the weekend, man, you're certainly talking about this one. There was a lot of great matches this weekend. Bandito versus Konosuke Takeshita. Mercedes versus Tony Storm. Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. Adam Page versus Jon Moxley. You had two of them on this show. You had the triple threat match with Becky, Lyra, and Bayley. And then you had this one. A lot of great matches this weekend. This is certainly going to be in discussion for top match this weekend. No question about it. This was a great fucking match. This was easily top 2 WWE women's matches all year. This was easily top 2 women's matches in pro wrestling here in the United States all year. We know EO is great. I know we're not going to see it. I wish I could be the judge, jury, and executioner for what we see on social media. Unfortunately, I don't wield such power. But I think the discussion for Rhea Ripley can't wrestle and Rhea Ripley's not good, I think that discussion needs to fucking die. Rhea Ripley is fucking great. She's so good, man. If anybody's out there on social media claiming that Rhea can't wrestle, man, let them know that I sent them. Let them know that I sent you, and fucking just chew the rest on social media. These people are just mentally deranged. They are absolutely bottom of the barrel fucking moronic. The narrative needs to die. I get that a lot of people want to see fresh, new, upcoming talent, but Rhea Ripley is in her prime. She ain't going anywhere. She's going to be factored into the top of the card. She's going to be factored into big business for as long as WWE has the ability to use Rhea Ripley. It's not going anywhere. And if she keeps churning out matches like this, while also being the most popular female in the industry, you got the best of both worlds. So why wouldn't you want someone like that on your team, on your roster, doing that for you? This match was great. So happy that these two got to main event and they delivered this main event the way that they did. This was a stereotypical WrestleMania barn burner in the middle of the summer in Atlanta in front of 8,000 people at the State Farm Arena. They got their introductions. Big deal. It felt like a big deal. It felt like a big match. It felt important. Io got the better of an early exchange. They both respect each other. They started off slow. They started off respecting each other. They started off trolling each other. And then things got really fucking bitter and they got fucking hot and heavy. Io got the better of an early exchange. Rhea Ripley then gets the better of an exchange. They go back and forth. Sky tried to out-wrestle Rhea Ripley, and she did. She hits a basement dropkick, acai moonsault. They wound up on the apron. Rhea Ripley finally got some offense by hitting a knee strike and tossing Sky into the announce desk. Tornado DDT by Io. Rhea's got one of the best sells of a DDT in the business. Io couldn't help but look enthused by hitting the move because it fucking looked great. Io followed up with a double foot stomp, suicide dive, missile dropkick. She did her pose, and then she hits the running knee strike. Everybody loves the Io pose, right? Double knee strike Meteora in the quarter for 2. Rhea Ripley tried a middle rope suplex, but Io landed on her feet. Rhea Ripley went to the top, but Io yanked her onto the turnbuckle. They trade counters back and forth. Io hits a poison rana for 2. She then goes up top. Rhea Ripley shoved her down, followed with a razor's edge. Sit out powerbomb for 2. Io then reversed a riptide into a sleeper, but Ripley backed her into the corner. Io went for a springboard moonsault. Rhea Ripley ducked. Io took out Jessica Carr with a springboard moonsault, or I think she went for a dropkick, not a moonsault. I misspoke here. It was a missile dropkick, and she blasted Jessica Carr by mistake. Rhea Ripley did not know the referee got blasted. She hits a riptide on Io. She goes for her cover, and the referee was nowhere to be found. She was dead on the outside. Rhea Ripley was upset, hits another razor's edge, a brutal one at that. Io fell out of the ring, so Rhea Ripley booted her over the barricade, and they start brawling into the crowd. So they start fighting into the crowd. We come to a bunch of equipment boxes, and they're battling near the steps and these equipment boxes. So Ripley brings her over to the equipment boxes. Io Sky fought her off. She kicked her down to the concrete. Io climbed up to the equipment box. There was a couple of them. She climbs up to the highest one. Hits a flying crossbody off the equipment boxes onto Rhea Ripley down on the concrete. Fans start chanting, "Holy shit, holy shit." So we start traveling back down to ringside. Io charged at Rhea Ripley, but Ripley dodged it. Sky went ribs first into the announce desk. She then recovered and hit Ripley with a sunset flip powerbomb off the apron onto the concrete. At this point, Jessica Carr finally starts to awaken from her death, and she gets into the ring as Io rolls Rhea back into the ring. So Jessica Carr's in the ring now. Io hits over the moonsault. Ripley kicked out. Very close near fall. Crowd could not believe it. Everybody was going crazy here. Both ladies are now back up top. Io hits an avalanche Spanish fly. Both women are down. All of a sudden, Naomi's music hits. Naomi runs down with a referee. She officially cashed in, making this a triple threat match. The bell rings, making it a triple threat match officially. Naomi hits Io Sky in the head with the briefcase and then hands it over to the timekeeper. She launched Rhea Ripley into the steel post. Naomi followed up with a split-legged moonsault on Io Sky for the 1, 2, 3. Naomi is the new WWE Women's World Champion, cashing in her briefcase and throwing a wrench into the system, fucking shit up. Proceed with caution. Naomi and the crowd went nuts. Naomi was celebrating. We saw the replays. Naomi was posing with the belt on the stage. This match went almost 30 minutes. They saved the best for last. 30 minutes between Rhea and Io. Tremendous, tremendous main event with a shock cash-in that I could not be more happy to see. Naomi is now the champion on Monday nights. Now Monday night has a true top heel besides Becky Lynch, because Becky's the IC champion. Naomi's now the world champion. And we got a little dose of unpredictability on Monday night. And like I said, I gave you 8 bullet points on why this was such a great thing. The most important thing is WWE did not want to beat Rhea, and they did not want to beat Io. They preserved that. They also preserved Io's win streak over Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is still winless over Io Sky. Monday Night Raw gets a top heel now coming over from SmackDown, which they desperately needed because there was nobody but Roxanne Perez and Becky Lynch. Basically only Becky Lynch. And now Naomi's over there. And now we get some fun creative to go through SummerSlam and go through Clash in Paris. WWE also potentially could want to have their eyes set on Stephanie Vaquer winning the championship and running with her. Maybe they don't want Stephanie to beat Rhea. Maybe they don't want Stephanie to beat Io. Maybe they don't want to do those matches right now. Maybe Naomi gets her flowers now and is going to be a transitional champion from this point on into Clash in Paris and then drop it to Stephanie. We don't know. This was a great move. No matter what you think of the creative, it's been piss poor lately. This was a chance. Sounds like they changed plans and called an audible here from what we were seeing because Naomi wasn't on Monday night. Naomi wasn't on Monday night. She's basically been nothing but Jade, Bianca, and Tiffany. That's it. On Friday, operating on Friday. The fact that she cashed in the briefcase here really just goes to show you that WWE certainly changed plans. And once again, I said it on social media. I thought it was going to happen at SummerSlam. I really did. I thought we'd get it at SummerSlam. I think we get a heel turn from Bianca, and we move on with Jade and Naomi. But I said today at almost noontime today, with the way that WWE loaded this weekend up and they wanted to steal the headlines, and they didn't, because seemingly nothing went their way, I said I could absolutely see them having a Naomi cash in tonight. It wasn't on Tiffany Stratton, but it was on Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And that's exactly what they did. And that was the trick to get people talking about what WWE did here tonight. On top of all the good that we got tonight, we got Naomi ending the show, ending the second ever Evolution, holding up the WWE Women's World Championship. I don't know how anybody could look at that as a bad thing. This was one of the best shows that WWE did all year. It flowed from top to bottom. Match order was perfect. There wasn't a lot of advertisements and commercials and fucking dead air and fluff. They went from one match into a vignette to set you up for the next match, into the next match, into the next match. Everything was perfect. And the booking, they got all the winners right as well. They needed this. They had a rough weekend with the Seth Rollins injury and the botched Bill Goldberg retirement. They needed something to carry them into Monday night. And it's going to be a very interesting Monday Night Raw tomorrow. One of the best shows that they produced all year is this show tonight. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. We had at least 3,500 in here at one point, man. Thank you guys very much for all your support. You hit the goal. You hit both goals. 1,000 was the first goal. 1,250 was the second goal. Can we get 1,500 likes tonight on the Evolution post show right here on Off the Script? Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys continue to get those super chats in. It's the best way to support the show. If you guys want to become a member of this podcast, you can click that join button down below and become a VIP right here on Off the Script. You get early content when it happens. You get some really great emotes to have fun with in the chat. And you get to be a VIP right here with all of our great mods and OTS VIP members, man. So make sure you guys go and do that and sign up, become a member right here on Off the Script. Tonight's show is sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkouts. Make sure you guys go and get your free sample courtesy of me and this podcast. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. They are having a great time tonight after Evolution. You want your own Evolution? Make sure you guys go get Blue Chew, man. It is the unique online service that provides the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but it comes in a chewable tablet. Fraction of the cost. You guys can take them anytime, day or night. Be ready whenever that Evolution arises. Make sure you guys sign up at BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. They are prepared and shipped to you, made right here in the US of A. And the online process is very simple. You're going to sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their online medical providers, and once you are approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days, no questions asked. There's no waiting in line at the doctor's office. There's no waiting in line at the pharmacy. There's no awkward conversations. Nothing. It's all done online, all very discreetly, and it's shipped right to you, right to your front door. So sign up today, BlueChew.com, code JD. All you guys need to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Chuver in the chat, stop acting like y'all know the WWE future plans, because y'all don't. Y'all can suck my dick. Chuver, get the fuck out, bro. You want to come into my chat and start spewing that bullshit, man? The mods took care of you, bro. Now what? Now what? You're as good as sap. Fuck out of here, bro. Get out of my fucking chat room, bro. Good on getting rid of him, man. Sidro and Hula Grim, get him the fuck out. Let's get these super chats out of here, man. Your boy's tired, bro. I gotta get to bed. A lot of pro wrestling, man, and we are starting a brand new week with more pro wrestling tomorrow. And then I got Tuesday Night Titans. And then I got Dynamite. The life of a content creator, man. I love it. Michael Krause. I don't know who the fuck anybody is anymore, man. What's with these hats? Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JDOTS, how's everyone? Let's go. Yeah. Am I ready for Tuesday? Yeah, I'm ready, bro. I'll be on all day. I'm sure the game will be queued up, and I won't be able to log in till fucking 5 p.m. my time. But yeah, I'm ready. King Mo Jackson with the 199 times 2. Evolution was better than I thought it would be. 2 thumbs up. And dude was calling out Candice Michelle. It had to be a rib, bro. It had to be a rib. I can't imagine Michael Cole making that big of a blunder, bro. I can't imagine. Cody Snyder with a $2 super. Goddamn, these women took it home. Yes, they did, man. The women fucking killed it tonight. Everybody in that locker room should be fucking so happy. Toya with a $2 super chat. Best WWE PLE in 2025 for me. It was a great show. Great show. But JD from NY 206. He hates women, bro. He hates the women, man. I can't wait to see that narrative get spewed around on social media. You guys know where to come to show them that JD is honest, fair, and upfront. All the narratives that you hear online, bro, believe me, they are all fucking bullshit. Nobody knows what the fuck goes on here because they don't watch. They pretend to watch. Some of them do watch, but they pretend to know what's going on here, and most of them don't. I've been for women's pro wrestling and better women's pro wrestling longer than these people have been in the community. That is a factual statement. I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. It's simple. But, you know, nowadays, you got to like everything. Everything's got to be great. You can't criticize anything. I got the Penta mask. I got the Grande Americano mask. We are picking the shows carefully. I'm not going to wear them when they don't mean anything. If Penta gets a championship match at SummerSlam, we wear the mask at SummerSlam. We'll do it. I'm gonna back you guys up on all those bets, on all those goals that you guys met. I mean, we wore the all-in commemorative mask last night. We wore it for 4 fucking hours, man. My goatee was fucking killing me, bro. My shit was itching me all stream, man. I did that stream with an itchy beard for 4 hours. Stars 3322. Evolution shouldn't be an every year event, but damn, got to give the ladies major props tonight. A+ show for sure. Valkyria is the next major star, 100%. A show of hands, folks. Stephanie Valkyria is greater than the Money Train. $100%. Cornell Bryant, $4.99. EO is top 3 in the world, male or female. Will, Seth, EO, female, HBK. Yeah. EO's great. Love EO. I don't know how anybody could hate EO. Sean Ross Cyclops? Who's that? Sean Ross Cyclops. Thomas Malloy with 28 months. Cheers to 28 months, JD. Continue to be you and keep up the great work, sir. Thank you, brother. Oh, Sidro, listen, man. You got to put it away, bro. Put the snake away, bro. Put the snake back in its cage, man. Okay? That's a Tony Brown comment, bro. We can only have one Tony Brown here, man. Honored One Forever with 26 months. Fine women's pay-per-view. I'd rate it Bayley 10 out of 10. Or Bayley out of 10. JD, random question. Do you play Pokemon TCGP game? No. I did. I downloaded it and then I found it to be very boring. Nothing but microtransactions, bro. I do play Pokemon Go daily, though. Toya D with the $2 super chat. I'm happy Naomi won, but I'm also very confused. Well, hopefully, Toya, I broke it down for you in the beginning of the stream. I broke it down for you. Around the time your super chat came in, I broke it down for you. Tony Brown with a $10 super chat. Certified 100% booty meat buffet featuring tasty Miss Parker, juicy Naomi, delicious Alexa, and featuring someone rust on a metal car would be edible quicker, the lovely Stephanie Vicaire. Tony Brown, if there is a man with fine taste, it is certainly you, bro. Yes, I love Jada Parker, too. Jada Parker would be in my top 3, bro. Easy. WrestleMess with the 6 months. Oh, to be Matt Cardona watching Chelsea Green get the devil's kiss from Stephanie Vicaire. I'm sure he'll have a comment. I'm sure he'll have a very sarcastic comment. That's what Matt Cardona does. Cornell with the 199. I apologize. Or the apologize to Jade and Charlotte tour. No. Now, all because things are a little bit more digestible tonight doesn't mean I'm apologizing for Jade and Naomi slander. Captain Solo with a 5. How Evolution is better than Saturday night's main event. Seth Rollins better stop wrestling like he's Tyler Black for his own sake. I don't think he knows how else to wrestle. Some people still think it's a work. Some people still think it's a work, bro. Chat, we need 110 likes for 1,500. If you guys are in the chat and have not hit the thumbs up, man, I genuinely don't know what you're waiting for. That's all you got to do is support. Hit the thumbs up. El Barto with a $5 super chat. Candice Michelle, says Cole. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there. How to be a troll. Justin Turner with a $10 super chat. JD, after tonight, WWE and Triple H need to make Evolution a regular annual PLE. The ladies fucking cooked tonight. One of the best wrestling shows of the year. Imagine if the next one gets a proper build. I don't think it needs to happen every year. I do think that we get a number 3, though. Seeing the reaction that everybody got tonight, I think we'll get a number 3. Havili, thank you, brother, for the 100 super chat earlier, man. I will see you tomorrow on the stream for Monday night. We love Havili. From Brisbane, Australia is Havili. Twister with a $4.99. I had to come here for one more super chat before I'm away for a while. Women's wrestling in 2025 rules. So happy for that roster. Gave us an all-timer. You know it, brother. You know it. Yeah, you should make it, like the Olympics, man. Like every 3 or 4 years, I would be fine with that. We haven't gotten one since 2018. It can't be that long again. Every 2 years, every 3 years, I'll be fine with that. Melee King with a 34 months. Have you heard that Noodles? Well, this is Sidro. I don't know. Melee King. Well, what is with the fucking YouTube names, bro? Why is he Melee King and why isn't he Sidro? Does anybody know a fix for this? Sidro with 34 months. Have you heard that noodles are being presented at church instead of wafers? It's a new group of ramen Catholics. P.S. 10 out of 10 PLE, the main event cooked. Guys, you gotta love those ramen Catholics, bro. Vincent Tarantini with 38 months. This PLE was awesome. Hope they do it sooner than 7 years from now. Should be every year. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you for being with me for 38 months, brother. I don't think it needs to be every year. Every 2 or 3 years is fine. Every 2 or 3 years. Or when WWE wants to be petty and counter-program AEW, they'll do an Evolution show. My question is, how soon do we get an AEW all-women show so Tony tries to outdo WWE? Surprised it hasn't happened yet. Surprised Mercedes hasn't used her creative control to get that done. Sidro with a 5. New strain of head lice has been discovered, and it's known to be resistant to all traditional treatments. It's left scientists scratching their heads. All right, you're 2 for 2 tonight, bro. That's a good one. Armando with 28 months. Let the women cook. And you see what they can cook. Fantastic display for women tonight. Io and Rhea killed it, plus Naomi and Jade were good also. Sidro with a $2 super chat. All seas in Pacific Ocean pronounced differently. I had the worst dream last night. I was visited by the ghost of Gloria Gaynor. At first, I was afraid. Then I was petrified. That Gloria Gaynor, man. You can't mess with Gloria Gaynor. Sidro with a 2. Worked at bakery to get by. I needed the dough. I needed the dough. Oh, man. At first, I was afraid. Then I was petrified. What song is that, bro? You got to remind me of these things, man. I am not a savant in these things, man. I did not get it. What song was that? What song is that? At first I was afraid, then I was petrified. Oh. I will survive. Oh. At first I was afraid, then I was petrified. Right over my head, bro. Right over my head. Best in the world, Matt, with a $5 super chat. Naomi versus Rhea. Naomi versus Io. Naomi versus Stephanie. This brings a fresh perspective to the Raw Women's Division. Get over it, geeks. Yeah. That's what I say. Yeah, come on, music guru. I don't know. At first I was afraid, then I was petrified. Great. Smooth Artist with a $4.99. Io was robbed, man. This sucks. WWE equals world weakest entertainment. You may be one of the geeks that Best in the World Matt was talking about, bro. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, come on, man. You can't expect me to know that type of music, bro. Do you see what I listen to? Street Fighter with a $5 super chat. I'll say it. Rhea is a good wrestler when she gets her reps in. 2024, she barely wrestled. Well, she was hurt. Dovey, thank you again for the $100 super chat. Appreciate you. By the way, chat, we need 59 more likes for 1,500. Can we get it? Thank you, Dovey. WrestleMess with a $4.99. Naomi, Rhea, Io, Valkyria are circling the Raw Women's World Title and main event, yet people complain. Fickle, thanks for your work this weekend. Thank you, WrestleMess. Melee King. Sidro with a 2. Wrestler takes shit in the ring. Crowd chant. Crowd chants, holy shit. Oh, man. Man, listen, man, you could take a shit in the ring, man. They'll fucking chant, "This is awesome." Who's the hottest chick on the show? Sol Ruca, Stephanie Valkyria, and Lola Vice and Jada Parker. Easily. True Crime Unleashed with a $10 super chat. Triple H said in the scrum how far that women's wrestling has come. Women don't really need the all-women's PLE because they already main event in the other PLEs and main event on Raw and SmackDown. I'm sure people will completely take him out of context and turn that into a negative. Oh, but how could he say they don't need the Evolution show, man, Triple H? We want Vince McMahon back! Johnny with a 5. Overall, great weekend of wrestling, but don't let them get comfortable. WWE and AEW both need to deliver on the follow-up. Much love, OTS. Yes, both have a very difficult time following up. They both have a difficult time following up. Best in the world, Matt. $5 super chat. Looking forward to seeing Jordynne Grace versus Blake Monroe. Some advice to Jordynne Grace. Watch for the shoe. Yeah. Absolutely. Mr. Grim Boogs with a $20 super chat. Thought this PLE wouldn't surpass All In. I was impressed. Don't know if anyone else seen this with the production of this show, but it looked like, to me, it felt like the female version of Saturday Night's Main Event. I thought it felt more like a fucking NXT TakeOver, to be honest with you. Which, at that point, I don't have a problem. Bid Moon with a $4.99. Soul Ruca is amazing. Sap is crap. Yeah. I mean, we know that, but Soul Ruca is amazing, yes. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Thanks for the Android, JD. You are the GOAT. Thank you, Michael. Robbie618 with a $4.99. Charlotte Flair's AI is starting to feel emotion. LOL. What's up, JD? We can watch Stephanie versus Sol Ruca in a 60-minute woman Iron Man match, and we'll be all set. Bro, give it to me. I'm ready. Best in the world, Matt, with a $5 super chat. Atlanta will always be WCW Flair country. Charlotte doesn't need to be her dad. She just needs to be herself. Hopefully, she understands that. Matt. Hopefully, she understands that. Sean Ross Sapp eats corn the long way. The chat is insinuating that he eats corn the long way. Cornell Bryant, $1.99. The moonsault is the new spear. I don't think so. I would say the Meteora is the new fucking spear. Everybody does it. Or the new super kick. Bizzle is back with a $2 super chat. I guess Jimmy is coming to Raw because of Naomi. Could be. Could be. Right now, he's tangled up with the motherfucking Tongans over there on SmackDown. Hitman 6003 with a $9.99. Just want to say I appreciate all the hard work you guys do. Jesse, Solid Monster, all the hard work you guys put in this weekend for the community. Your work does not go unnoticed or unappreciated. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Your boy is tired here, bro. I'm fading away, man. I do a few guys, man. I love it. I would not be here without you guys, so thank you. Bizzle is back with a $2 super chat. He got to finish the storyline with Jacob and then to Raw. Yeah, I can see that. Near Fall Chris with the $1.99. Women's Revolution started in Atlanta in 2015 on Raw. There you go. Richie V with a $4.99. I hope I'm wrong, and Naomi's cash-in on Io doesn't mean she's dropping it immediately to Rhea. I really thought she was cashing in on Jade at SummerSlam. I just felt like there would be a cash-in somewhere. I'm glad I was right on that aspect. I felt like they were going to use that to kind of swing the momentum in their favor with all of the online chatter this weekend. What am I watching for, Hooligan? Sean Ross Sapp to eat corn the long way? Red Dragon Studios with a $10 super chat. It's astonishing to me that people are currently knocking this event on X because they are claiming the crowd was moved to fill spots. While that might be true, that place was still packed. Bro, they had near 8,500 people in that fucking building tonight. The AEW fan base are mentally fucking retarded, bro. That's all you gotta say. They don't operate to an intelligent fan base, bro. They are the dumbest fucking people that are walking God's green. None of them have a fucking a shred of common sense in their brain. None of them. Anthony with a $9.99. You have the best show out there. Can you do the Android voice? It's just as good as the Ronda Rousey voice. You want me to do the Android voice here on...
Can you do the Android voice? It's as good as my friend Ronda Rousey.
Reggie Smith with 45 months. What a show, JD. Off topic. My only concern for Punk is if he wins tomorrow, do you see him walking out of SummerSlam as the world champion? I mean, Rollins is not there anymore. If he's hurt, he's not there. It might be Punk's time.
Sorry, Sam. I can confirm via Fightful Collect. He did score the long way. And he rubbed someone's inner thigh on X.
Venom Supreme with 40 months. Hey, JD, the ladies were hot in more ways than one tonight. Great show. This is Kal-El. Why is my name using my email? Mustangs rule and good night. Bro, I have no fucking idea. I don't know, bro. Can we fix this? Is this a YouTube thing or is this something I have to switch over to? Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Great singing, JD. When's the album dropping, bro? I don't know. Joseph Hayes with a $2 super chat. JD, how is your cat or cats? I have one named Pebbles. Cats are doing good. Bayley, Freddie, doing good. I got a foster upstairs in the guest bedroom. I adopted, well, not really adopted. I'm fostering a cat. I named her Luna. Partially for Luna Vachon, to give it a wrestling take, but also she was found in Central Park and she had an eye infection. I think she was a cat that was owned previously and the previous owner did not take care of the eye infection and her eye looks like the color of the moon. And I named her Luna. She's a cutie. I fostered her, hoping that she gets adopted and finds her forever home. Kevin Castle passed away earlier in this year, and he loved the kitties. Always did great for the community with the cats. Always tried to find cats a proper home. I did it in memory of him this year. Probably gonna make it an every year thing. But, yeah, I did that this year in honor of his birthday this year. Johnny with a 5. Maybe they send Jimmy to Raw and Priest, Black, and Fatu feud with the MFTs. I don't care if they feud with the MFTs, bro. I find it to be fucking boring. I find it to be boring. HH Media 84 with the $2 super chat. Can I get a shit roll? I don't got the reverb on that. Oh, man. Shit roll. That's my supermarket. My supermarket sound effect. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Down aisle 7, Sean Ross Sapp eats corn the long way. Today on sale, 3 stalks for $5. Thank you for stopping at Stop and Shop. Once again, Sean Ross Sapp eats corn the long way. Thank you for shopping at Stop and Shop. I had one job, I know. It's me, Mario. Yeah. Anthony with a $4.99. If Seth's knee is really bad, you think they will have Money in the Bank at SummerSlam? I don't know, Anthony. Didn't I talk about that on today's video? You got to go watch today's video. I mentioned that in today's video. Maybe they take the briefcase and put it on the line in a Money in the Bank ladder match. And Abyss with a $1.99. What is SRS's favorite restaurant? Longhorn. Thank you guys very much, man. SRS is a cob gobbler. Oh, man. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for a great stream, man. Your guy here is tired, man. I'm going to try and get some fucking rest before tomorrow night. Holy shit, man. My brain is fucking fried from all this pro wrestling. But you know what? We delivered one hell of a fucking live stream, bro. We delivered one hell of a live stream, man. Thank you guys very much. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Thank you guys very much for everything, man. I think we had like 3,500 in here tonight. Another like 2,000 plus on X. You guys killed it, man. For a Sunday night Evolution show that was built in 2 weeks, you guys fucking killed it. Awesome. We'll be live tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw, man. We're going to find out who Gunther is wrestling at SummerSlam. Tomorrow night on Raw, will it be Punk, Penta, LA Knight, Jey Uso, or Braun Breaker? Tomorrow. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll find out. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And go check out the Saturday night's main event review earlier on the channel today. And all the other content on the channel. Thank you guys very much, man. Remember, 2 things. Number 1, Sean Ross Sapp eats corn the long way. The cob gobbler that he is. And number 2, there's a reason why we do what we do here, man, and draw the audience that we do. It's because we are the best of the best of the fucking best. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Raw, man. I'll see you guys.
Oh, Sean, how does that corn taste, Sean? Sean eats corn the long way.